the light client solution to bridge exploits. Traditional blockchain bridges have lost billions to security breaches because they rely on trusted intermediaries or heavy full-node verification that most users cannot perform. Avail Nexus attempts to break this cycle by shifting the security model to light clients that use validity proofs to verify cross-chain state without downloading the entire history of a peer chain. Since its mainnet launch in November 2025, the system has moved away from simple message passing toward a verifiable mesh where users verify transactions on their own hardware. This technical pivot changes the fundamental trust assumption from what a validator says to what a proof can mathematically demonstrate. This shift in architecture is designed to neutralize the honeypot risk that has plagued cross-chain infrastructure for years. And the mechanism making this possible is a technique called data availability sampling. Data availability sampling as a security primitive. Most users cannot run a full node for every chain they interact with, which is where the security gap in bridging begins. Avail Nexus leverages data availability sampling to allow light clients to verify that block data was actually published by checking just a few random chunks of the block. If the chunks are there, the mathematical probability of the data being withheld drops to near zero within seconds. This allows a mobile phone or a browser extension to verify that a rollup or an external chain like Solana is being honest. By the middle of 2026, this system has scaled to support 13 different blockchain ecosystems, turning the data availability layer into a shared source of truth that does not require a central coordinator. This brings full-node security guarantees to consumer-grade devices for the first time. But verifying the state is only half the battle. Moving the actual value requires a new way to handle user intent. Scaling intent with the Mayan integration. The latest upgrade to the Nexus architecture occurred on June 24, 2026, when the protocol integrated with Mayan to raise cross-chain transaction limits to $10 million. This move shifts the user experience from manual bridging to an intent-based solver network. Instead of a user choosing a specific bridge and waiting for confirmations, they sign an intent declaring a desired outcome. A network of solvers then competes to fulfill that request by sourcing liquidity across the mesh in a single transaction. The June update significantly expands the execution capacity, allowing larger institutional flows to move across the network while maintaining the low latency of the underlying light client verification. This effectively hides the complexity of multi-chain routing behind a single signature. However, moving larger dollar amounts through automated solvers introduces a different set of risks that the engineering community is still debating. The signal under the noise. The deployment of Avail Nexus and the recent $10 million Mayan integration represent a transition from the bridge era to the era of chain abstraction. By combining light client verification with an intent solver model, the protocol is attempting to solve the fragmentation problem without reintroducing the centralization of a multi-sig bridge. However, the real implication here is the trade-off between security and solver reliance. While the light clients ensure the state is valid, the efficiency of the entire system now depends on a competitive and honest solver market to execute these larger transactions. This moves the bottleneck from technical throughput to economic coordination. For the developer and the analyst, the next 12 months will reveal if this solver network can remain decentralized as liquidity demands scale. The specific indicator to watch is the diversity of the solver set as the network attempts to hit its 10 gigabyte block capacity targets. The success of Nexus hinges on whether it can maintain its proof-based security while competing with the raw speed of less secure, centralized alternatives. Subscribe for more.